100 fun facts you won't believe are true. Hey there, my curious and fun-loving friends. Welcome back to the channel where we make your brain pop with facts you never knew you needed. Today, we're going on an epic journey through 100 amazing, weird, and downright hilarious facts about anything and everything. So buckle up, grab your favorite snack, and get ready to press that "Wow, I didn't know that" button in your brain, because it's about to get a workout. Let's dive right in. Did you know that some of our animal friends are hiding the coolest secrets? Let's start with the masters of the ocean, octopuses. They have 3 hearts, and 2 stop beating when they swim. Yep, total overachievers. And speaking of weird animal bodily functions, wombats poop tubes. Why? To stop their poop from rolling away. Kind of genius if you ask me. Now, here's some cuteness overload. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep to keep from floating apart. Relationship goals, right? And get this. Cows aren't just walking burger factories. They're emotional creatures. They have best friends and actually get stressed when separated. Isn't that heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time? If you think you've seen it all, here's one last fun animal fact. Some sharks glow in the dark. Talk about nature's neon rave party. Speaking of nature, she's always up to something weird. Did you know bananas are technically berries, but strawberries aren't? I'm not sure who wrote the fruit rules, but they deserve a stern talking to. Oh, and let's talk about the Amazon rainforest. It produces 20% of the world's oxygen. Basically, every 5th breath you take, thank the Amazon. Pineapples, on the other hand, couldn't care less about your breathing. They take 2 years to grow. That pineapple pizza you had? Hard-earned. Here's a shocking one. Lightning can strike the same place twice, or even more. That lucky lightning myth? Busted. Also, sloths might seem slow, but did you know they can hold their breath longer than dolphins? What can I say? Never underestimate the sloth. Ready to time travel? In history, humans had some wild moments. Tomatoes were once thought to be poisonous. That's right, people literally freaked out at the sight of spaghetti sauce centuries ago. It wasn't until the 1800s, when someone ate a tomato in public, that people changed their minds. How about this one? Cleopatra looked closer in time to the moon landing than to the building of the pyramids. Let that sink in. The pyramids are that ancient. Here's a mini war lesson. The shortest war in history lasted just 38 minutes. Blink, and you'd have missed it entirely. And for food lovers, did you know medieval English folks used bread as plates? Less scrubbing, more eating. Absolutely on board with that. Speaking of food, here's a sweet one. Honey never expires. Archaeologists even found edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs. Imagine pulling out 3,000-year-old honey for your morning toast. Meanwhile, peanuts? Not nuts. They're actually legumes, basically beans in disguise. Moving to chocolate, the first ever chocolate bar was created in the 1840s. Thank you, whoever invented it. We owe our happiness to you. And get this. Hot dogs were originally called Dachshund sausages because they look like the dogs. Who knew a snack could be so full of history? Oh, and bubble wrap? It was invented as wallpaper. Can you imagine living in a house full of poppable walls? Productivity =, gone. You don't need to go far to find strangeness. Let's start with the longest movie ever made. It's over 30 days long. Imagine watching that. By the end, you'd probably forget what it was about. Speaking of things that almost didn't happen, Mickey Mouse was almost named Mortimer Mouse. Can you imagine Mortimer trending worldwide? Hard pass. Here's one for the birdwatchers. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. The drama in that name is just chef's kiss asterisk. Oh, and that little hashtag symbol we all use? It's technically called an octothorpe. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? Fun side note. Did you know the first email was sent in 1971? We've been spamming inboxes for over 50 years now. History in the making, folks. Now it's time to nerd out with words. Did you know the word buffalo repeated 8 times in a row is a grammatically correct sentence? Google it, it's real. Also, English is full of surprises. For instance, bookkeeper has 3 consecutive double letters. And the word for the fear of long words? Ironically, it's *hippopotamonstroses squipedaliophobia. Asterisk, come on, who thought that was a good idea? Here's a little trivia gem. There are only two words in English that end with "ry," angry and hungry. Fewer than you thought, huh? And let's end this section with a classic. The most common letter in English is E. You can't escape it. It's everywhere. See what I did there? Buckle up, we're heading to space. Did you know a day on Venus is longer than its year? Yep, time checking there would be super awkward. Neutron stars are mind-blowing too. A sugar cube-sized chunk of one would weigh as much as Mount Everest. And here's a crazy folding trick. If you could fold a piece of paper 42 times, its thickness would reach the moon. Who knew office supplies could be so cosmic? There's also a fun fact you can share at parties. Space smells like burnt steak. Don't ask me how astronauts figured that out, but now I want a steak dinner out of this world. Let's talk about us, the flawed yet fascinating humans. Did you know your stomach gets a new lining every few days to stop it from digesting itself? Thanks, biology. Appreciate the protection. Also, humans are the only animals that blush. Can we talk about how hilariously awkward that really makes us? Oh, and your brain? It's 75% water. My brain is officially a water balloon. Want one more weird quirk? Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Guess all that typing and texting must keep them busy. Finally, goosebumps. They're a leftover survival mechanism from when we had more body hair. Who needs fur now when we have hoodies? The world isn't just cool, it's also weird. There's a place with the longest name ever, 85 characters long. Good luck fitting that on a mailing address. Antarctica holds the record for being the driest, windiest, and coldest place on Earth. Opposite vibes to your tropical vacation. And speaking of nature's extremes, Canada has more lakes than any other country. It's like a land of water slides waiting to happen. Oh, and did you know Mount Everest grows about 4 millimeters every year? It's growing right out of our reach. Lastly, there's a spot in Alaska where it stays dark for 2 whole months. Maximum nap potential if you ask me. Inventions aren't always practical, but they sure are fun. Velcro, for example, was inspired by burrs sticking to fabric. Turns out, nature is the best designer. Did you know the first ever alarm clocks only rang at one time? Talk about limited snoozing options. And here's a fail. In the 1870s, someone tried using cats to deliver mail. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. For the Frisbee enthusiasts out there, fun fact. The inventor of the Frisbee wanted to be turned into one after he died. Weird, but also iconic? Finally, the Slinky we all love was supposed to be a tension spring for ships. Instead, it became a symbol of childhood joy and endless stair-sliding experiments. Let's switch to sports. Golf balls have an average of 336 dimples. Who's counting those anyway? And here's a record breaker. The shortest professional baseball game lasted just 51 minutes. Fast and furious, for sure. Did you know tug of war was an Olympic sport until 1920? It really is the OG team-building event. Speaking of games, the phrase checkmate comes from a Persian phrase meaning, the king is dead. Chess is officially hardcore. Quick soccer trivia. It's the only world-famous sport where using hands is out of bounds. Feet win every time. Let's wrap up with some mind-bending coincidences. Mark Twain was born and died during Halley's Comet appearances. Talk about coming full circle. There are also more fake plastic flamingos in the world than real ones. Truly, a flamboyance of fakeness. And did you know male seahorses are the ones that give birth? Seahorses are single-handedly flipping gender roles. To round it off, the Eiffel Tower grows about 6 inches every summer due to heat. Even monuments get a summer glow-up. Butterflies, meanwhile, taste with their feet. I guess it's asterisk totally asterisk efficient? Woo! What a ride! From cube-shaped poop to sugary space stars, this world is full of fascinating nuggets that make life extra interesting. Which fact was your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and share with your trivia-loving crew. Until next time, keep laughing, learning, and being endlessly curious. See you soon!